Welcome to Big O's TV show, where we chop it up and we keep it 100. And today, I got a very special guest in the building. This man needs no introduction. Coach, thank you for having us, first of all.
Absolutely.
And can you introduce yourself and give the world a bio on Coach?
Oh man, introduce myself. I think pretty much, most of y'all know who I am. Coach Mooney, man. Moved to Vegas 2016 to become a school teacher. Actually, had moved here from after being in the military for about 17 years, and so yeah, came out to Vegas, man, to work more with the kids. I've always worked with children, and so decided to move to Vegas, become an elementary school teacher. Ended up being a middle school math teacher and a dean. And then about 2016, decided, my middle son was old enough to start playing some football. So, I decided to put a little flag team together with some 4-year-olds and did pretty well. And so we just go ahead and transitioned into tackle football. And, a lot of people ask me, where'd you come up with the Black Wolves from? And it's a funny story because people think, oh, you just came up with that name. And there was a young man who he would come to practice every day, and he would draw me a picture at school. And so we were trying to think of a team name during flag, and so one day he came to practice right here in front of my home, and he said, Coach, I drew you this picture. And I was like, yeah. I was like, what's this picture of? And he said, it's of a wolf. And I was like, okay. And he was like, do you think we can name our team the Black Wolves because I drew you a black wolf? And I was like, yeah, man. And all the kids voted on it, a bunch of 5-year-olds voting on the team name. And that's how the Black Wolves became a name, So people think, oh, it came from this or that. No, it came from a 5-year-old. And his name was Xavier. And he transitioned. He played 1 year tackle football with us. He's a really good player. And his father coached with me. And yeah, so that's where the Black Wolves came from. And we started off, man, just trying to have some kids have fun, man, learning the game of football and loving the game of football. So, and now it's this, and so, but yeah, it's a good thing, man, and I wouldn't change it, wouldn't take any of it back.
Wow, that's so interesting. So this young man,
yes, sir,
drew a wolf on the paper.
Absolutely.
And that's the origination.
Absolutely. That's
of the Black Wolves.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, Coach, I want to say this, man. First of all, thank you for your services in the military. There's a lot of coaches out there that coach, and a lot of them are military, ex-military. Yes, and you guys don't really get the love sometimes as far as that military background. So I want to give you flowers and say thank you for serving your country. Absolutely. Let's get that out the way.
Yeah.
But that is, first of all, that's a heck of a resume, Coach.
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing about you as we talked off camera.
Yeah.
I've been hearing about you for years, and it's a blessing to be able to sit down with you here today. But I've always heard, hey man, so you need to go check out Coach Mooney, man. He's solid. Go check Coach Mooney out. So I'm glad that a guy's plan was for us to sit down today. But
yeah.
I got a couple questions, Coach. First of all, you're from Texas.
Yes, sir.
They do it big in Texas.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
What they eat, linemen, crazy size.
Yeah.
So, did you bring any of that Texas mentality to Vegas as far as your coaching?
Absolutely. That was basically the foundation of it. I learned to play football, in the street, at parks, following my uncles, and they wouldn't let me play, and I would try to get in the game, and they were a lot older, and they would throw the ball and hit me and knock the wind out of me, so I'd get off the field and I'd go sit over there and cry. I don't really remember a lot of points in my time where I didn't play football, or I wasn't involved with football. So, my life has been surrounded by that. It's, you got to understand, football in the state of Texas, it's almost, for young men, it's a rite of passage. Even if you're not going to be very good, or football's not, you got to try it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something that's been kind of like it's intertwined within the culture of the state. It's it's what you do. And then as you move on, then you decide, and you can pick other sports and things like that. But generally, man, as a young man, you're gonna sample it, and so I tried to bring that brand of football to Las Vegas, to Nevada, to the West Coast, and I think I had some success, as far as integrating the game and teaching just kind of that that kind of down south style of football because it's a lot different than West Coast football, a lot more physical. And so I think I did well, had some success, could have done better, you know what I'm saying? But it takes time, you know what I'm saying? More time than I've invested, and I think honestly more time than I'm willing to invest to kind of almost change a culture of football so that it's that brand of football. And I think that's primarily why when we go to the South, we struggle. It's a different brand of football, and it's tough. Which is, the West Coast is more, fast receivers, fast running backs, fast quarterbacks that are elusive, and they have those kids, but in those trenches where it really matters, it's a much different game,
Yeah, because Texas is known for the hogs.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you got 8th graders, 6'2", 220, 230, sometimes even 7th graders that, outside looking in, we're like, man, those kids in Texas are huge. Created Madden players even, baby,
Absolutely.
right? So that's kind of a cool thing. So the philosophy from Texas,
Absolutely.
that Texas background, that tough, rugged
Oh, yeah.
beginning in your life, transition to coaching,
Absolutely.
brought that style to Vegas, and obviously is translated. You can see the success of your programs while you were coaching here in Vegas. But you use the word struggle. Now, to jump right into the word struggle, you got your bulletproof vest on, Coach. You ready for these questions? Okay, so what, in your opinion, what's the state of Las Vegas youth football? What state? I mean, what's the magnitude of it right now, in your opinion? Because you get guys that say this, you get guys that say that, you get critics that say this, you get critics that say that. People always have this stigma and opinion on Las Vegas youth football, and it's always the guys that are here in the actual fishbowl in Las Vegas that really know the truth. So with you being out here, with you coaching out here, with you being on the scene, involved heavily with the youth, what's the state of youth football in Las Vegas? You can take a deep breath, Coach. It's okay.
This ain't it. This ain't it. Not by any stretch of anyone's imagination. And I know some people will have, opinions contrary to that, or some people won't agree with me. But it shows when our teams leave Las Vegas that this ain't it. The level of football played here is remarkably low. The level of coaching here, and this might ruffle some feathers, and that's okay, As humans, we should be able to disagree and have differentiating opinions, and then be able to sit down as men and talk about those differentiations without it becoming an argument or a fight or guns. And so, but yeah, the coaching here, and just a simple example, in 6U, none of my kids had ever played tackle, and we came out here and we beat up on everyone. It wasn't because I had the best kids. I didn't. I've never had the best kids. This year I had the best kids. I didn't have the best kids. I had some kids who were afraid. I had some kids who had never played. I had some kids who didn't even want to be out there. And it was coaching. I was able to convince my children that they were better than those children. That's all I done. Football's a really simple game. And I think a lot of times, a lot of these guys, they go out here and they complicate it. You're never going to beat me running Madden plays. You're just not. You're just not. And it's really that simple. I look at a team when they warm up, and I immediately go to my kids and I tell them they ain't got it. They ain't got it. Because why? I watch what their coach is doing. When you're still playing 8U football and you can't get your kids to line up, but you're yelling at the children, you can't get your quarterback to do a 3-step drop, your kids are still running to the left with the ball in the right hand, and you're yelling at them when somebody comes in and attacks the ball and they fumbled, and you're screaming and yelling and cussing at these kids. That's not a kid problem, that's a coach's problem. You want to know why? Because you don't see my kids do that. Because I took the hours and the time and the investment at practice to teach my children, when you run to the left, the ball's towards the sidelines. When you line up as a receiver, that back foot towards the sideline, that's a foot back, because that's going to give you the number of steps that's going to coordinate simultaneously with your quarterback when he needs to get that ball out. You guys will be in sync together. So it's simple things like that. And these coaches are out here yelling and screaming and cussing at these children. Man, that ain't the kids' fault. That's your fault. Because we're on game 7 and your kids still can't line up. We on game 7 and your running backs are still running back. You got kids still that don't know how to tackle appropriately. That's not a child's fault. They only gonna do what you teach them, family. That's it. Okay, they're clean slates. They're sponges. And whatever you teach those children. So people are like, oh, Coach, no, man. I just took the time, man, and I taught them the right way. And so now once I teach them the right way, that's all they know. That's all they know, fam. And so the state of football here in Las Vegas, no, man, this ain't it. I can't do this no more. I can't do this. You know, I love these children, man, and that's probably the hardest part for me right now as far as leaving Boston, is I love the children. And I see so much potential. However, this potential left in the wrong hands is going to be fruitless. And guys don't understand that the foundational skills that are taught at 6, 7, 8, 10, and 12 are what are going to be the things that gives your child an opportunity to go and get on the field as a freshman, playing JV or varsity, depending on his specific skill set. And when that child has been undercoached, has had a lack of coaching, has had bad coaching, all of those things are the things that are going to prevent a child who may have had an opportunity. And I'm not talking about NFL. I'm talking about getting kids to college, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about getting a young man an opportunity to go and get a free education, okay? Because we know that football is a small window in your life, man. And it's who are you after this game? What type of citizen or what type of person, what type of young man are you? What are going to be your contributions to society? Gang banging and dope dealing and robbing and stealing and killing? Or are you going to go out and you're going to take care of your family? Because you got a college education and now you can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. And people think it's not about, this ain't about football, man. Football is such a small part of why I do this, man. You know, it's such a small part, man. I do this, man, because I'm trying to, one day when Coach Mooney is gone, man, these young men, they're gonna come back and they're gonna, hey man, you know what, man, that old dude, man, he taught me a couple things. You know what I'm saying? Taught me a couple things, and I've implemented those things with my children. You know, I get messages and stuff, man. Thank you, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for everything you taught me, and ain't none of it got nothing to do with football. That's what this is about, man, and that's not what's happening here, man. It's not what's happening here. You know, these coaches going on the field and stuff, man, playing music and with derogative language towards other people, other races, women, dope dealing and shooting and all that stuff. Come on, man. That's not it, man. That's not what this game is for. This game is not to promote those things, man, and we promote the wrong thing. You know, they all on the internet talking reckless to each other. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna do this. We got people wagering on children's football now. What's going on here, man? This ain't it. This is not what this is. This is a child's game, man. And now it's muddy. It's like muddy water now. And we don't know how to separate any of the pieces, you know? And so, once again, another one of the reasons, man, why I'm gonna take a step back, man. This ain't for me no more, you know what I'm saying? Because I come from a whole different cut, you know? And a lot of these guys, man, they not, you know, they cut a little different, you know? And it ain't no knock on nobody, man. It's just what it is, man. You know, I'm me. That's all I can be, you know? And, you know, you talk about people saying, Coach Mooney, man, Coach Mooney ain't no different from nobody else, man. I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't bend or break for nobody, man. I'm my own guy. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, man, I gotta stand and look in that mirror, bro. And I gotta take an account for myself. Who am I as a man? What have I contributed? You know? And if I can't do that and feel good about myself, man, then that's an issue, you know? The state of football, man, in Vegas, man, this it's bad, man. This is not it, man. This ain't it, man. And we wonder why everybody's like, oh, my son got to go to Gorman. My son got to go to why? Why? I'm like, do these guys realize, man? I'm like, do y'all realize, man, that most of those kids that's playing athletics at Gorman, man, kids not from here. So what make you think your child gonna get in there, man? And one thing you're gonna find out about coach, and I'm always gonna keep it 100, man. And I'm gonna call a spade, bro. I'm not gonna BS nobody. I'm not gonna tell you something that it's not, bro. I'm gonna tell you, and you know what, man? It might be a little painful sometime. You know what I'm saying? And that's just as real as I can be, man. You ain't gonna never, ever, ever have to second guess how Coach Mooney feel about you. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna never have to second guess what I meant, because I'm gonna let you know right off the rip. I'm gonna let you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? All these people thinking they can, no, your son ain't. No, he's not. No, he's not. Okay? Let's just keep it 100. How many of these kids out here running around? Oh, I'm going to Gorman. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because they're gonna go get that kid from Texas. They're gonna go get that kid from Florida. Let's call it what it is. All them kids from Liberty, come on, man. No, man, it's only so many spots. So why can't we put something together, man, and go and build up one of these other schools, man, and give more of these young men an opportunity, man, to get some exposure? I told him, man, you don't have to go to Gorman. You don't have to go to Liberty to get to college, man. All you got to do, man, is go out there and shine. And when we, as youth coaches, send these young men to high schools, where as a 13 or 14-year-old, he's getting reps on varsity. It's about opportunities for exposure. And all of a sudden, instead of getting junior, senior year, 20 games, now he gets 40 games, plus playoffs, plus whatever they do after that. 7-on-7. Now we've given him all of these extra opportunities to get exposure to college coaches. That's what we're doing here. We want to get our boys there and get them on varsity football as quickly as we possibly can. That's the goal. That's it. And the rest is up to him. And his coaches, if you can play this game, they'll find you. If you can play this game, they're going to hear about you. They're going to find you. If you can play this game, man, it's proven. And the coaches at the youth level, they're not doing that. They're trying to win a youth football game. Okay? I've been around a lot of high-level athletes. I've sat down with Lane Kiffin and Pete Carroll on my couch with my oldest son. Okay? I've sat with those guys. I've picked their brains. Okay? I'm good friends with Coach Polomalu. When he was the running back coach at USC, I used to sit in his office with him every day because my son was there. And I'm like, Coach, what are you looking for, man, in a high school player? They don't look for the best player, boss. They look for potential to come in and be a contributor. That's what they look for. And so I focus my coaching style on developing what college coaches are looking for. That's my coaching style. What are these coaches? They're going to look for a guy who's technically sound. They're going to look for a guy who gets up to the line. They're going to look for a guy, a big boy, who doesn't walk off the field. It's those small things that'll get your child a scholarship. Why are you always yelling because they don't run off the field? I know what I'm doing. Just follow. You know? And so those things are being done by the youth coaches here, boss. They're not. You know why? Because they don't know. You know, you got a bunch of guys out here coaching, man, they don't know what they're doing, boss. You know? And that part bothers me because it's impacting children. Because it's impacting children. It's hurting children. You know? It's hurting children, and it's taking opportunities away from children who would have potentially had the opportunity to play at a college level. It's going to be stripped away by a bunch of bad coaching. So the state of football in Nevada or Las Vegas, no. And something has to change. And I thought that for a time that I would be the person who maybe kind of spearheaded that. And
Look like he
I don't know.
or something.
You know what's crazy, Coach? First of all, man, I got the chills. Just from that alone, man. You're giving me the Coach Prime effect here. You're giving me the Coach Deion Sanders Prime effect here.
Yeah.
But what I got, which was a whole bunch of knowledge, that a whole bunch of jewels that you just dropped. I got fundamentals, details, experience, and your why. Your why. College coaches always ask college students, what's your why? And most kids say family. Most kids say their mom, their dad, or whatever they say. Your why is truly about these kids. Man, you know what, Coach, man, that's phenomenal. Because we talked about this also off camera. It's too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, right? Everybody wants to be the Lane Kiffins, the Pete Carrolls, the Nick Sabans. But like you said, it gotta start with the 16. You gotta know how to coach the babies. Now, if by game 7 they don't know how to line up, you're right, Coach. That's a problem. And you gotta look within, right?
Absolutely.
You know what's crazy? Because it's the Big O's TV show, right, Coach?
Yeah.
Coach Mooney, well, we chop it up and we keep it 100.
Yes, sir.
We don't keep it 99. And damn it, we're keeping it 100 right now. Whether we ruffle feathers or not, it's the truth, right, Coach? Deion Sanders, he had a quote. And, you know, he says, coaches either get terminated or elevated. And you know what's crazy, man? And I don't want to spoil it for nobody, but this is your retirement interview.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like you're gonna get elevated, man. I know you done told the Oos,
Yeah.
I'm done. I want to watch my kids play, I'm done. But Coach, it's something in you, man. I feel like the world still needs Coach Mooney, you know. But to hear you talk with passion about these kids, man, and I noticed another huge thing you said was, and this is no shade towards anybody, but you said when you leave here to start your new journey, who's gonna take the reins?
Yep.
That's huge, man.
Yep.
But in my opinion, if they have been soaking from you all these years and watching the Coach Mooney effect, watching how you move, from throwing successful tournaments for these kids, to coaching these kids, to getting you, first of all, drippy uniforms.
Yeah.
I mean, everything organized. And I'm sure that comes from your military background.
Yeah.
And everything being organized, everybody looking the same, everybody looking good. They say if you look good, you play good. Yeah. I'm sure if they took notes from you all these years, Coach, they might be okay. Because you got to be able to listen sometimes, right? We all want to have the answers. Yeah. But everybody ain't a coach. Sometimes you got to learn to be the water boy first. You got to learn to be the student. You can't just jump up there on the helm and say it takes a very special person. So hearing you talk, Coach, about the state of Las Vegas youth football, man, there's so much truth in that. You know, even with the bickering, even with the immature volumes of things that has transpired, even this season. It's been so much. And we all know we're in the coach's page. It's no surprise. You see it all the time.
I was in that coach's page for 2 days.
I know. In 2 days, that was it. I'm out of there. But sometimes it feels like a whole bunch of grown men with dead opinions because it leads to nowhere. And here's Coach Mooney out here with the Wolves taking them to nationals, trying to elevate these young boys to be young men on or off the field. How important? Because you touched on this. You say it's bigger than football, right?
Absolutely.
How important is it for you to impact these kids? I mean, on a personal level, because I've seen a lot of the posts on Facebook. It's grown men praising you, and giving you your props and saying, "Hey, Coach, man, love you, man. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. It's made me a better person." You know, you got kids in your inbox telling you, "Thank you, Coach Mooney." I mean, to get that much love back and seeing what you have sold, right, per se, I mean, how does that feel to know, man, you one of those coaches that truly, truly made an impact here in Las Vegas? How do you handle that?
I think maybe the perception of impact is interpreted differently depending on who you are. My impact, a lot of guys would say, "Oh, I'm proud of, and I'm this guy." No, man, it's not that, bro. I believe that God puts you here with a purpose, and with that purpose, He gives you opportunities to act on that purpose. And it's your job to figure out when one of those opportunities arises and then to take advantage of that opportunity. So how do I feel about it? It's almost like when you get your paycheck and you pay your mortgage or you pay your car note. That's my job. When you buy groceries for your family, that's my job, and so my feelings about my impact is that I am doing what God put me here to do. I'm doing my job, and so with that being said, it's like when I feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose as a man, as a father, and as a coach in impacting my sons' lives, these young men that I encounter, then I'm not doing my job. So I guess my feelings on that is always there's a pressure there to kind of make sure that I'm doing the best that I can. And I haven't always been successful at that. Let's be clear, about Coach Mooney. I've been a work in progress for years, and I wasn't always this person. I used to be a different person. And however, once again, with those opportunities to impact lives, children have changed my life. They've changed me as a person. They've changed me. They changed my kind of my ideologies about how I feel about things. How do I evaluate life? How do I evaluate my life? How do I evaluate my success as a man? A lot of people think success means I own a home and I own cars and I have a good job and I can go on vacations and stuff. For me, that's not success. Success is, what do I leave? What do I leave? What's my legacy? What will people say about Coach Mooney? And it ain't gonna all be good, and that's okay. But those that I was able to make a positive impact on them, what will they say about Coach Mooney? And if those things have able to been, passed on, I give you a perfect example. I watch Coach Nate, and he's passing it on now.
Shout out to Coach Nate.
You feel me? That
Good
young
guy.
man there has grown leaps and bounds.
And I see he comes from the Coach Mooney effect.
And I hear him talk to his children now, and I hear myself. That's my job. That if those positive things that I was able to give Nate, he's now giving to other young men. That's your job, family. That's your job. That's our job as a 54-year-old man.
Nah, you can't be 54, Coach. Look about 42.
54 years old. As a 54-year-old man, I've been able to give that to a 29-year-old man who will subsequently give that to these 8 and 9-year-olds for the next 15 or 20 years. Now we're making changes. Now we're making positive changes. Now we're shaping minds that don't get involved with the law. They get involved with school, or they get involved with communities and things like that. So this is a process, man, that I have tried, to implement and to give. So how do I feel about my impact? That's my job, and the whole retirement thing,
Yeah, because I think the world want to know why, not to interrupt you, but we want to know, why is a coach of your magnitude really retiring, coach? If you don't mind sharing that part of your life with us.
I can sum it up. It's easy. Parents.
Good old parents, huh?
Parents. If things don't change soon, parents will be the demise of youth football. They will be the demise of this game. States are going to take it away. It's not the children. It's these parents, man. It's these parents. If I could say one thing to a parent, any parent out there, when you sign your child up for a football team, go sit down. Stay out of the way. Keep your mouth closed. Parents are ruining this sport. They're ruining it. Every dad thinks he's a coach. You're not. Okay? What they don't understand, now you go to practice and you got all these parents standing out on the field and out there yelling at their kid and stuff. What parents don't understand is, how do you expect for me to coach your child and teach him what I need for him to know in order for him, number one, to get on the field to play on this team, because you're going to be crying about his playing time when he's not on the field, okay? Well, he's not on the field because all he do is listen to you. So I can't put him on the field because when I ask for him to execute something, he can't do it because he spent the whole practice looking at you. And by the way, you don't know nothing about football. You don't know anything about my offensive concepts. You don't know anything about my defensive concepts, but you out here yelling at him the whole time. Get out of the way, man. Or your child ain't gonna play and you're gonna ruin it for your child. And then you're gonna be mad at the coach and you're gonna go just like all these jumping from team to team. What are we doing here, folks?
Can that transfer portal, coach?
What are you teaching your child? What are you teaching your child? When things don't work out for you, you run away from it? Because in an 8-year-old's mind, that's what you're telling him. And these parents don't realize that. Oh, you didn't get to play quarterback. Let's run to another team. And then he goes to that team and he doesn't play quarterback. Oh, you didn't get to play running back. Let's run to another team. And then he gets over there and he doesn't get the ball. So at some point as a parent, you need to stop and take a look at in the mirror. If you really love your child, let that child go through some adversity. Let that child have to go out there and scrap to go get what he wants, because that's not teaching him a football lesson. That's teaching him a man lesson. That's teaching him a life lesson. That guess what, son? Sometimes shit ain't gonna go your way. And guess what you gotta do? You gotta go out there and you gotta get at it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I teach my kids, if you ask my kids on my team, when they walk into this interview and there's 7 guys sitting there and he got a young wife and a young child at home and they need some stuff. They need a place to live. They need, you know, clothes, and they need food, and they need you want to send them to a private school or what have you. And you walk in there and there's 7 dudes sitting there with Armani suits on and they got their briefcases. You ask the kids on my team, what you gonna tell them all? They gonna tell them, hey man, you got to get up and go, bro, because this all mine. I'm taking this. That's the lesson I'm teaching, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with football. I'm teaching my kids, man, sometimes we gotta go get it, and it ain't gonna always be right there for us. That's what I'm teaching, man.
Adversity builds diamonds.
Stop playing with me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm teaching. You know? I'm teaching them to go out here, man, and be go-getters, man. There's too many of these cats sitting up here, man, living off of women and all that other old stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to run game on these young ladies, man, and trying to get a hold. No, man, that ain't it, bro. That's not it. And we keep being, and we always on this whole pro-black and all this other stuff. No, bro, but look what we teaching our children, bro. What are you teaching them? You letting them watch all this mess on the internet and watch all this mess? No, bro. But then you want him to do something different, but you're not showing him anything different. Back to my purpose, back to my impact. I'm gonna talk about these things. You feel me? I'm gonna address the 600-pound gorilla that don't nobody want to look at because they scared. You feel me? I'm gonna address him. Hey man, he over here, bro. What we gonna do? We're gonna turn our back to it. That's the problem with our culture. That's the problem with our people. You feel me? You talking about Dion. Everybody mad at Dion. Why you mad at that man? Why you mad at him? Oh, he left black. He ain't leave black people. Y'all want this man to stay at a job that's paying him $300,000 or a job that's paying him $5 million. And now he takes that $5 million and he can be a bigger impact for us.
Hello?
Stop playing with me, man. Come on, man.
Facts.
If you don't see that picture, bro, if you don't see that, that man ain't leaving his people. He can't leave his people. Look at his skin color. Can't leave him. You know? That man has a bigger vision than just an HBCU. He did great things, man. He helped the HBCUs. But then people want to be mad at him. Why are you mad at that man? Because he's trying to be more successful. That's the problem with our people. And I posted that to one of my friends. Why y'all mad at that man? That's our problem as a people. We don't never want to see each other do better. That's why some of these coaches out here, they won't bring their sons to me. You know what I'm saying? Let's call it what it is, bro. I want to be Coach Mooney. As long as y'all keep doing that trash y'all doing, y'all not going to beat me, bro. Y'all not going to beat me. I've shown it. I've proven it. Y'all can't beat me. When y'all had the kids that I have now, y'all didn't use them. You didn't use them properly. You want to play your sons. You want to play your dad, your boy's son in front of him. And then I get him all of a sudden, he's a superstar. All of a sudden, he's a superstar. He was the same kid when you had him, bro. You just didn't use him right. You know what I'm saying? Because you had all of these separate agendas going on with other people. Instead of just letting the kids go out there and do his thing and putting the best kids on the field. Anybody will tell you when you come to my team, when you come to the Black Wolves, the best kid's gonna play. I don't care who it is.
No daddy ball.
Never that. I brought 2 quarterbacks to my team this year and told them, sit him down. Sit him down. If you sit him down, he's gonna sit down. And I meant that. And I meant that. Sit him down. People think, oh, Coach Mooney, your son play quarterback. No, my son don't want to play quarterback. You call him down here right now, bro. He don't want to play. But why was my son playing quarterback all these years? Because he sat with me every day and he was well-versed in our offense. Because he built like me. We from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? He don't bend under pressure. Okay? He gonna always go out there and he gonna do his thing. He gonna stay steady. You know? And that's it, man. Oh, he played quarterback. No, man. My son don't want to. He's never wanted to play quarterback. But I put him there because of his football IQ. And he was the best thing for us to be successful. Because he sat there when I designed our offenses. He sat there with me. And he watched it. And he asked me questions. And he understood how it worked. Why? Because the quarterback has to be a general. He has to be a leader. Leadership qualities are innate. You're a leader or you're not. He cut from me. He cut from his mama. You know what I'm saying? Lead from the front, not the back, not the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put him there, whether he wanted to be there or not. My son told me this morning, he was looking at Chris Olave. I've known Chris Olave since he was a baby.
Okay.
Grew up with his daddy and everything and all that stuff, you know, coached him and everything, you know, so we were looking at Chris and he was like, man, Chris is leading the receivers. 887 yards, 60 catches this year. And he looked at me, he said, I can break those records, Dad, if I get to play receiver. People think, oh, Coach, man, he don't want to be a quarterback. He want to play receiver. But I forced my child to do what was best for the Black Wolves. So let's clear that up. Everybody think Daddy's the coach, his son's the quarterback. I forced my child to play that position. He didn't want to. You know, didn't want to. You can ask all the people that are close to him. You want to play quarterback? No, I don't. Why you play quarterback? My dad said I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because why? I'm going to do what's best for this team. Not what's best for one child, including my own. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people, you know, they think, you know, nah, man, Coach, man, I don't do daddy ball. Best kid's going to play. I've had kids come to the team, practice 2 days. Okay, hey son, sorry. I know you've been with me for 2 years. You got to sit down. It's that simple. I'm going to give my children the best opportunity to win. You know what I'm saying? And if that means that your child got to sit down, then that's what it is, fam. But what you going to do? You going to grab your child and run away? Or you going to let him sit there and face the adversity and go ahead and do his thing? Hey, man, go back there. Go get that back. Go get that back, you know? So, yeah, man, you know, this is, and like I said, man, you know, some of y'all out there, man, y'all might not agree with me, man. You don't have to. It's all good, man, but I'm always, like my mama.
We on the Big O's TV platform, though. We're going to chop it up and keep it 100, right, Coach? That's it.
You know?
So, first of all, that's extraordinary, man. Yeah. And I see why your son's such a talented QB. What class is he in?
Man, when is I ain't gonna graduate, man? Long time, 2032 or something.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like 32.
Either way, I believe he's gonna be great at what he does because, you know, like you say, you know, we always talk about it starts in your home. And we're gonna play the dogs. I've had a little stint of coaching.
Yeah.
Not as much experience as you, but I've always had the same ideology as every other coach. Yeah. We gonna play the dogs. You know, you can't be softball out there if you're trying to win. Period. And you know, football's not a soft sport. You gotta put on your big boy drawers and handle your business, right?
Got to.
So, with that being said, Coach, man, how do you feel, or when do you feel Vegas will be able to compete with Texas, Florida, California? What has to change in Las Vegas in the youth scene to make us even competitive?
You know, it's funny that you asked me that because our last game here Saturday in Florida, Keefe from the OG Ducks.
Shout out to Keefe.
Me and Keefe, man, we go way back, man. You know, a lot of people, you know, they have their own. We have their own opinion of everybody. You know, a lot of people have their own personal opinions. Look here, absolutely, hands down, one of the best youth football coaches out there.
I agree.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you are a coach and you have kids in 8th grade that have 5 or 6 college scholarship offers to Power 5 schools, you're doing your job. You're doing your job. You can say what you want to say about the man, okay? But I've watched that man, Keefe and I, coach way back when Steve was having Throwback Football League, you know, and the proof is in the pudding. How many of them young men that Keefe coached are now playing on Saturday and playing on Sunday?
Facts.
You can't argue that. You can say what you want to say about him, and I don't like him, and this, that, and the other, man, whatever. Okay? If you can't respect that man's body of work, then you don't know football. Youth football. Okay? That young man gets other young men to Saturday. Okay? At a really high level. Okay, him and I coached Tyjon Lindsey and J.J. Taylor and Tate Martell, you know, and all these kids, and Isaac Taylor, you know, these kids playing on Sunday, man. You know, we coached those kids together. You know, when he used to bring his kids and he would drive them down, that man has a true love for children and investment in children. He used to drive his boys 2 days a week from LA to San Diego to practice. And nobody was helping him. Nobody was giving that man money or, oh, here's this. No. He brought them because we had the opportunity to put a bunch of great players together and go do something. And Steve Clarkson had a great throwback football league in LA every year. And I drove my boys from San Diego to LA every single week to play football. And we took our kids from San Diego, and he put a couple of his kids from Inland Empire together, and we went up there and we brought the smash on everybody. We did not lose a game for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that you say that, talking about what do we need to do to compete. Keefe and I had a brief discussion about that. To be continued, my man. The coaches here, youth football coaches. And once again, man, it's hard for me, bro, to really respect a lot of the coaches here in youth football when I look at you during warm-ups and I start thinking about who are my kids that don't get to play very much or at all. How am I gonna get them in the game? And
Not the backups, coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's generally what I do. I start thinking about getting those kids playing time.
So you just know an ass whooping coming.
Mama, I know that you don't have a prayer. I'm looking at your kids warm up. I'm looking at you, what you're doing. You know, it's not a good thing when you can ask all my coaches, call my whole coaching staff. My 9U kids, from 6U to 9U, I pretty much had the same kids. We have a playbook of like 350 plays. My kids know all of them.
Wow. 350
plays playbook. I just can show it to you. 350 plays. I had 60 plays for the 8U, 9U, and 10U this year. I had 60 plays on a play sheet. I ran the same 5 plays the entire season. Mm-hmm. I had 3 sets on offense that I could have went to, and I never used them.
Wow.
And ask my coaches. 3 sets that I never went to. Why? I didn't need to. I beat y'all with the same 5 plays. I beat everybody with the same 5 plays. And once again, I wanted to run that other stuff. But if you're not gonna make me run it and have to resort to it or change my game plan, then why would I do that? If I'm being successful with the same 5 plays, I never went past my first 5 plays on my play sheet. I never looked at the back of my play sheet this year. I never looked halfway down my play sheet this year. Never. I ran the same 5 plays over and over and over again. That's all I did. I ran 5 plays this year.
So the coaching IQ needs to step up quite a bit.
It needs to change.
Needs to change. Right.
If you can't make me run anything other than 5 plays because you're over there and you're watching my offense and you're making defensive adjustments to take some things away, if you haven't recognized that I ran the same play, but all I did was add motion to it this time, if I run a dive straight up the middle and then I just put motion and then run the dive, and then I put motion and then run an RPO and then give on the dive, if you haven't made that adjustment yet, young man, something's wrong. There's a problem. It's you. Because you're not adjusting. And what is that ultimately doing? You set your kids up for failure because they're out there getting embarrassed.
Especially in Texas, Florida, where football is damn near a religion.
And let's keep it 100. Our 10U, guess what? In that regional game, our 10U should have went to nationals. That team from El Paso, the Sharks, guess what they did? They ran the same play right at us over and over and over. They didn't change a thing. You know what they did? They changed who they gave the ball to. It was 2 and it was 3. And it was 2 and it was 3. And guess what my coaches did? Nothing. Why would he change it? This year, I ran the same 5 plays. And nobody made me adjust. And so I beat everybody with 5 plays. You know? I beat everyone with 5 plays. So what does that tell me? That tells me about the IQ of the football coach that's standing on the opposite side of that field. When you're back there arguing with parents or arguing with your other coaches, guess what? You ain't focused on what I'm doing. And now I'm gonna put you in the hurt locker. You know, now I'm gonna really put you in the hurt locker. You know, how come? Oh man, y'all not gonna beat the Henderson Cowboys with that 10U. Y'all got that new 10U put together. Come on, man. You're not gonna run the same play over and over and beat Coach Tiny. You're not. And so what we did to the Henderson Cowboys is we made him do something that he hadn't practiced and he couldn't, that he wasn't used to doing, and his children couldn't execute. We made him throw the ball because we took that little stack away. We took it away from him. That's all we done. Said we're gonna take that away. Now what else you got? Because we got some other defenses we can run. Now what you got? He had nothing else.
High level scheming was going out there on your sideline.
Man, I got the best coaches in the business. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the coaching staff.
Come on, man. Stop playing with Coach Tiny, bro. He real with that defense, man. High skill level.
Shout out to Coach Tiny.
You know what I'm saying? High skill level, man. You know what I'm saying? And so we just took it away.
Wow.
And then they had nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever took anything away from us.
You know, Coach, that probably was one of the most honest answers too, because like you say, most people shy away from tough questions. And you basically said, hey, you know what, man? I asked you a direct question. I said, Coach, man, what is it going to take for Las Vegas to be competitive? You flat out said, coaching IQ.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, hopefully they take notes to what you just said, man, and things change, because I'm a huge fan. I mean, I got no dogs in the fight. All my kids are headed to high school or in high school already. Yeah. But I would love to see Las Vegas. I mean, I know Vegas Strong had a stint. Shout out to Coach Phil and Vegas Strong. They put on for the city. But I would love to see, you know, more championships here in Vegas. But like you said, you know, until coaching intelligence kind of changes, it seems like Vegas football kind of stay the same. We can't put our differences to the side and make it about the kids. It seems like Las Vegas football stay the same. So that was great insight from you, Coach.
If you out here worried about, you know, I hear people call me and talk to me on the phone. Oh man, I just want to beat Coach Mooney. Why you want to beat me?
Because you are him, Coach. You are him, Coach.
Man, if you worried about beating Coach Mooney, man, you focused on the wrong thing, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a little local football game, man. Why can't I, man? I'm trying to beat the Miami Garden Ravens, man.
I hear you.
I need that. You know what I'm saying? I almost got him at 7U, man, but I need that, man. Because if we can build a team from here, man, let me tell you something about that squad, man. That's the real deal right there, bro.
That's right. Them
kids are the real deal, and them coaches is the truth. They are the truth. I don't care what nobody, oh man, they don't, man, knock all that off, bro. That's a whole different level of youth football, man. That young man, Lil Rod, that young man stay out of trouble, stay healthy, bro. He gonna play on Sunday.
That's right.
And I told my kids, man, I said, if you can't do what that young man doing, bro, might want to reassess what you're doing, man. That's a next level athlete. It's a next level athlete right there. That young man's different. And those kids, man, what I love about the Miami Garden Ravens, man, is every single one of those young men that come out there and they line up, they are committed 150% to blocking for that young man. They're like, you will not tackle him. And if you do tackle him, it's going to be 15 yards down the field. You know, they're committed to that. And that comes from coaching. That comes from coaching IQ. They execute. They stay on their blocks. They're not big.
Right.
They're just they're coached so well. And they're so talented. And those kids, they get after it.
And you know, it's always, not to interrupt you, Coach.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's always good to hear other coaches giving other coaches props and things of that nature, man. You rarely see that nowadays, right? But in closing, Coach, because your journey's been phenomenal. Your impact in Las Vegas alone has been extraordinary, Coach. So let me give you your flowers for that.
Appreciate it, man.
In closing, Coach, where does Coach Mooney go from here?
Texas. Yeah, I'll be moving. Actually, I have to be in Texas tomorrow to do my final walkthrough on my home. I'll be moving to Texas on the 20th. Where do I go?
Because there's got to be the love of coaching is still in you, Coach. I still see it in you. I know you're retired. It's something that I see that the fire is still there, Coach. I might be wrong.
The love of the children
is
there. Will that bring me back to coaching? I don't know. I want to take some time to, I mean, real quick, man, coaching takes a lot, and shout out to all of y'all, man, that's out there coaching, man, because it you know, people don't understand, or they don't see the wife, you know what I'm saying, and the impact that has on her, you know, when that wife is talking about, hey man, you keep doing this, we might have some issues, you know what I'm saying, but you continue to go out there, you know, and the parents are still complaining because nothing's ever good enough, and they don't understand the what's going on at your house, and you know, you're taking away time from your family. I'm gonna keep it 100, man. I don't even know the last time I took my wife out, real talk. But I can tell you the last time I took a whole bunch of kids out. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So what is next for Coach Mooney? I need to be a better husband. I need to be spend some time with my sons outside of football. You know, I got a baby, and so I would say if I had to prioritize, I would say, you know, spend some more time with my wife, man. She deserves it. You know what I'm saying? And work on that. You know what I'm saying? And spend some time with Zion and Zeus, man, outside of football. You know, away from the game and stuff, doing some other stuff, and then in my heart of hearts, you know, people, why don't you go coach high school or something like that? Nah, man. I think, could I? Yeah. Would I? I don't know. Would I coach youth football again? I prefer getting children when they aren't tainted, when they haven't been poisoned, or, you know, and giving them something that's foundational that they take with them when it's time to go to high school. I think that's my job, to take the young ones and give them those skills, so that when they get to high school, that the coach is like, hey man, watch that kid right there. And he has these great foundational skills, and the coaches are like, hey man, we might need to move him up the bar. That's my goal, man. Not for him to go play freshman. I don't like my kids playing freshman football. I feel like if I'm doing my job, at a minimum, my kids, they should be playing JV football as a freshman or varsity. That's just bottom line. And so, yeah, man, I think that's kind of where it's wrapped up at, man. Will I do this again? I don't know. I really don't know, man. It'll be tough though. I really wanna sit back. I just wanna be a parent, man, because I've seen the struggles with parents this year, and I wanna be the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? I wanna be a parent that just sit back, man, and let the coach do his thing, man. Stay out the way, you know what I'm saying? And if you wanna coach your son, man, coach your son at home. Coach him at home. Coach get 2 hours with him, maybe. You get all day and all of that with him. You get in front of the TV with him, doing exercise and push-ups and stuff, man. I wanna do that. You know what I'm saying? But will I come back to this? I don't know, man. It'll be tough to get me back.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. I never say never. You know what I'm saying?
Never say never. That's a good sign,
never, bro. But I just want to give a shout out, man, to Vegas in general, man. Shout out to all of y'all, man, for what you do as a coach, man, and taking care of these children, man. But make sure that when, as a coach, man, if I could give a young man, make sure that as a coach, when you step out on that field, that you are, not that you always be successful, you're always trying to be the best version of yourself. What man would I want to stand in front of my son? You feel me? What man do I want out there to stand in front of that my son is watching as a 6 and 7 and an 8-year-old? What man do I want out there? And not that you're always going to be successful, you're not, because we're human. But always try to be that best version of yourself. And always do what's best for children, not for you, not for your team, okay? Winning is a byproduct of this game. If you coach those children right, if you always try to do your best as a coach and as a man for these children, winning will come with that. Winning will come. If you are, as a coach, young men, if you are a coach and you're focusing on winning the game, I got to go out here and win. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work. Because now your focus is not the children. Now you're playing to your ego. What do I want as a person? You know, if you are living vicariously through your child, that's not going to work. You're going to ruin the game for them. You know, so if I could leave something with you guys, man, in Vegas, man, y'all got to, if you all aren't able to put aside your personal feelings, I don't like that team, I don't like that guy. If we can't put this together, i.e. conversation from Keefe and I, if we can't put this together, we're not going to beat those kids. We're not. We might luck up here and there and we get this team that slide through, Vegas Strong, a year or so ago, and they win it. But Vegas, no, not going to win this unless we put all of the best kids on one team. Oh, then you got a powerhouse. They got powerhouses. Unless we put all of the kids on the best team and get the best coaches and keep these kids together, stop team hopping. Put these kids together, man. Let the coaches coach them. Coaches, get out of your own way. If we don't do that, we can win no championships over there, man. You're not beating those kids, okay? We went out there and played the Ravens, bro. It didn't matter what we done. We weren't beating those kids. They were better than us. And that's just the bottom line. It's just the bottom. They were better than us. Kid-wise, coaches-wise. We have all these kids on our team for the whole season. Then 15 kids go to Vegas. You're not going to go out there and beat 40 killers. It's not, bro. Commitment from parents, commitment from coaches. Those things have got to change. And when those things change and getting the right coaches, coach, if you know you don't know a lot about football, you said it earlier. Sometimes, man, you got to be the student. You got to be the little Indian, bro. And you got to learn, man. It's free game out there, man. Ain't nobody soaking it up. You feel me? So, man, coaches, man, if you know you don't know a lot about football, man, go out there. It's there, man. It's there. Go learn about the game, man. Go to coaching seminars. Sit down, man, and listen to these guys, man. Read about why these offenses. Our offense this year was a combination of the Oregon offense with Marcus Mariota and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. People are like, what? Are you teaching that to get? Yeah, 10-year-olds.
And they ran it to perfection, too. Their read option was beautiful.
Come on, man. That's what it was a combination of. And I pulled from those and I said, guess what? I have the kids that can do these things. Now let's put it into an offense. And I designed the offense.
There it is.
You feel me? So, man, at the end of the day, man, I appreciate this, man. And I hope the best, man, for the coaches that are stepping in for me, man. And I hope that I was able to, you know, for those of you out there, man, I was able to give something back to the game. You feel me? And man, best of luck to all of you guys, man. And always, man, keep your eyes on the prize, man, and do what's best for these children, man.
Well, Coach, man, thank you so much for having us, the hospitality here at your beautiful house to do this interview. Like we talked off camera, it's gonna be classic, man. Yeah. Because this is an interview right before you embark on your new journey in Texas. And congratulations on your endeavors in Texas. I know you're gonna touch whenever you decide to come back, Coach. I know you're gonna touch a lot of lives out of Texas. So thank you for sitting down with Big Goose TV today.
Yeah,
my man.
Salute to you, family.